open, sleep awoke, and life was never the same again. Welcome to the world of fear where doors don't just close, they hide secrets. Tonight's story will take your sleep away. Title, My Granny's Secret Room. Episode 1, The Forbidden Door. Every summer vacation, we visited our grandmother's house. Her two-story white house stood quietly near the edge of a dense forest. The road to the house was lonely, but we loved every moment we spent there. Her home was neat, clean, and always smelled of roses. But one door in the house remained closed, always. Whenever we asked her about it, she would smile vaguely and say, "That room holds memories. It's not for you." We were kids, but curiosity burned inside us like fire. What was behind that door? Why was it never opened? And why, sometimes late at night, a soft glow emerged from the edges of the door? We began to feel something eerie hidden in the silence of that hallway. Episode 2, The Night of Courage. One night, when everyone was asleep and the house was drowning in silence, I slipped out of bed. The hallway was dark, but I tiptoed quietly toward that forbidden door. My heartbeat was thunderous in my ears. As I got closer, I heard faint whispers coming from the room. I pressed my ear against the cold wooden surface. It was music, old, slow, and soft footsteps. My hand trembled as I reached for the handle. It was ice cold. I slowly turned it, and the door creaked open. Episode 3, Dust and Whispers. Inside, a dim lamp flickered. The room smelled like aged paper and dried flowers. There was a wooden table with some black and white photographs. I walked in slowly. The walls were covered in faded wallpaper, and on the table, a photo of Grandma with a little girl beside her. But the girl's eyes, they were all white. I picked up the picture, and suddenly a hand grabbed my shoulder. I turned around. It was Grandma. Episode 4, Her eyes changed. "What are you doing here?" Grandma's voice was stern and cold, but her eyes, they weren't the same. They looked hollow and harsh. I couldn't speak. She snatched the photo from my hand and closed the door behind me with a bang. From that day, she became distant, silent, always lost in her thoughts. She barely spoke. We never asked about the room again, but at night, the same faint glow returned. Episode 5, The Voice from the Room. One night, while going to the bathroom, I saw the door slightly open. The soft yellow light glowed again from within. I froze. Then, a whisper, "Come back, the game isn't over." It wasn't Grandma's voice, but it sounded like her. A strange chill crawled up my spine. My instinct screamed, "Run!" But my feet stayed. Something was calling me. Episode 6, The Strange Diary. Next morning, I found a wooden box outside that room. It wasn't there before. Inside was a very old diary, yellowed with age. 1949, my baby was born, but he wasn't breathing. The doctor said he was gone, but I know he's still here. My fingers shook. I've kept him safe. He sleeps in the room. I'll wake him up when it's time. My eyes widened. Was Grandma hiding a ghost? Episode 7, The Confrontation. I couldn't stop myself. I asked her, "Did you have a baby?" Her eyes turned cold. "You read the diary, didn't you?" I nodded, unsure. "That was my son. He still is." "You opened the door. You woke him." She stared at me, not with anger, but fear. "He's awake now, and he's watching you." Episode 8, The Shadow in My Room. That night, there was a knock on my window. When I peeked through, nothing. But when I turned back, he was in the corner. A shadow, tall, still, burning red eyes. "Come play with me," the voice whispered inside my mind. I shut my eyes tight. When I opened them, he was gone. But under the door, a note had slid in. "If you don't give him back, she will be taken." Episode 9, The Mirror That Sees. Grandma showed me an old mirror from the room. "This mirror doesn't show your face. It shows the truth," she said. I looked. It wasn't me. It was a boy, my age, but pale, with empty white eyes. He stared into me, then smiled. An awful, twisted grin. Blood began to streak the mirror. "Get away from it," Grandma shouted. Episode 10, The Line Between Dream and Real. Every night, I dreamed of him, the boy. He would pull me into the room, whisper to me. She promised me you'd take my place. I would wake up gasping, my hands scratched, my feet muddy. Was it really just a dream? Even my mom started to feel something. "This house isn't safe anymore," she whispered one night. But Grandma wouldn't leave. Episode 11, The Sacrifice. One day, Grandma looked at me and said, Tonight either he goes or I do. I didn't understand. That night she lit candles in the room, entered it alone and shut the door behind her. I heard her scream, then silence. I ran in. She was lying on the floor and in her lap. Boy, pale, transparent, he was crying. Take him and never come back, Grandma whispered. Episode 12, goodbye. We buried Grandma 2 days later. The house became silent again, the room sealed. But the night I left, I heard a voice from behind the door one last time. Thank you, Mom. The spirit had found peace. The house finally felt still. Episode 30, return. 15 years later, I came back. The house stood exactly as we left it, but older and quiet. I walked toward that door, and just as I reached it, I heard it. Will you be my friend now? Episode 14, the final whisper. The door opened on its own. Inside, darkness. No lights, no photos, no furniture. And then the whisper. The game isn't over. Episode 15, the game begins again. At night, I dreamed again, but this time I couldn't wake up. I was trapped in the room. The boy was smiling, and the door behind me had disappeared. Now I knew the truth. No one ever leaves Granny's secret room.